Hey folks, I just finished the South Trail. Since my wife and I swapped vehicles a few days ago, and I installed this hitch on the back of her beautiful minivan, her Town and Country, I did not have my GoPro in the car. So what I did do is I recorded on my Garmin watch, my ride, my heart rate, and I'm just going to post that. So I'm going to give you, let me give you a verbal trail report. So it's only been 2 days since it rained. It rained like a mad dog 2 nights ago. But already the trail is very dry. I mean, there's a little bit of moisture down there. It's not midsummer dry, but it's very dry. And tons of whoop-de-doos, especially the last 25% of the trail. The last 25% of the trail almost never gets that bad. But we didn't have any grooming this year on that entire section. So, also the whoop-de-doos. The whoop-de-doos on the two-way trails are deeper than ever. If you're used to hitting those things at 45, you might want to do a sight lap the first time, maybe hit them at 35. I mean, I'm sure you probably can make it if you're used to doing it at 45. But there's some very irregular spacing now. And there'll be 3 or 4 kind of regular, irregular, and then super deep. And just far enough out front where if you don't gun that tire on the downside of the previous whoop, you're going to hit the bottom of that whoop-de-doo. One thing I've noticed with this paddle tire, this M14 scoop tire, is as long as I keep my rebound fairly loose in the back, I've got my rebound set to 8. I used to run it at 6 and even 4. If I keep it around 8, it rebounds fast enough to get that tire on the downside of every single whoop without any problem. And then I can just hit the downside of that whoop with the rear tire and bounce over or jump over the next whoop-de-doo, or at least lift the front end high enough to tap the top of the next whoop-de-doo, even if it's pretty far out there. If it's far enough out there, I'll just jump up, it'll just lift you up. You'll land with your front end up anyway, and it'll be so light by the time you hit that next whoop-de-doo, it'll be fine. So I would say trail's very dry. You got to probably run a little more compression than you're used to. For me, I do not change my rear rebound below 8 because I want it to rebound. I don't mind the bouncing. I'll take that rebound to get that rear tire down and whoop-de-doos over that and just deal with, keeping my rear end off the seat so that I don't get hit when if it's bouncing around. But actually, for me, I don't find it to be a problem at all. Front fork set to 10, shock set to 10, rebounds all 3 set to 8. Perfect, no problem. So comfortable for me at my weight. With all my gear on, I'm about 185, 190. So anyway, back to the final trail. Let me summarize the trail report. Dry, lots of whoop-de-doos. Berms are still being built up after the groom kind of destroyed a lot of them. Maybe a tiny bit of water at the one pond on the south, one creek at the south where you get into that two-way down there. If you want to get your gear wet over there, can't quite remember if I saw water, but I think I did. And other than that, not a puddle on the trail. Lots of fun, huge workout. I only rode the south. I got to get back to the office, and plus I'm just tuckered out. It's hot. All right, everybody, please, if you like my videos and even these non-videos, trail reports, give me a thumbs up. And if you would, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Subscribe today, unsubscribe tomorrow. It promotes my channel, and I get a lot of good feedback from people. I say a lot of things about responsibility on this when I ride, and life lessons. I'm a 63-year-old guy, went through, homeless, broken childhood, left home at 15, high school dropout, all these things, went back to college, got my master's degree at Georgia Tech, all this stuff. I think it's a good message for kids, and a lot of kids watch my videos. And actually, there's parents that watch them with their kids. And so I think it's worth subscribing, because what it'll do for me and for anybody who might benefit from my message, especially anybody who's kind of hopeless out there and thinks things will never change. When you're really young, you think things will never change. I've got at least a message of hope. And I talk about what I did to climb out of that. And I appreciate it if you would subscribe. It'll put me in front of more people that it might help somebody. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm going to head back to the office. I'm going to brown up this premium burger and have a ground hamburger sauteed with cheddar cheese burrito, a little jalapenos, a little salsa, a little sour cream. I can't wait. In the meantime, I got to eat a yogurt and an orange on the way back. Thank you, everybody. Hope you get out and ride. Wambaw South Trail, pretty tough right now. Bye-bye.